Hey, my normies and non-normies. I just wanted to shoot the introduction to this at least. Today is March 10th. We started this recording at 1 in the afternoon. It is like 3:06 in the afternoon now when I'm putting this up here. But I do hope that you guys enjoy this chit-chat collaboration between me and Catrina. Sorry for just jumping it in on you guys the last minute. But like I stated at the end of everything, which I'm not sure if you guys are going to listen to, I did forget to start the recording. We just started jumping into the conversation, and then I remembered, oh snap, I forgot to record. I wanted to get this for the show, just to give y'all a feel of what it's going to look like when we actually do the episode. But, and just to give you, like I said, an idea of what her story is like. But, this is what you guys have to look forward to pretty much, when we do our episode. I hope that you guys enjoy it. And again, I also, in case if you don't get to the end, because it is a lot, but I would like to know if y'all can hit that link in Anchor. I think it's where it's at. The Ask Me Any Question link. I will be tweeting it. If you follow me on Twitter, I will also post it up on the Parenting and Mental Illness page. I would like to know if you guys would like for me to post once a week, twice a week, or 3 times a week. I'm trying to get an episode schedule going on for the podcast, but I'm not sure what you guys would like. So I'm trying to take into consideration what my listeners want. Or you can shoot me an email, lifeasaparentwithmentalillness@gmail.com. Have a blessed day, y'all.
I do this because I love you, and we cuddle, cry together afterwards, after, whatever, yelling, that she feels that she took accountability as well. But she also had life experiences of, that onset her issues.
Yeah.
So, onset her issues, and so it wasn't. I guess my situation is always not typical to everybody else, and that's kind of why I tether on even how much of it sometimes that I share, because it's not even. I didn't take it. I never took anything as a child away, because it always was a full circle and very loving, supporting. At the same time, that's my best friend. We're always best friends. We get in bed and cuddle up, and then after the. She has a heavy voice already.
Yeah.
So there are several factors of it. It was just, sometimes it was more because of her voice and demeanor than what it even came off as. So it wasn't, and then it wasn't even really until, like, she'll have moments like most people in our society say they bipolar really quick or whatever.
Yeah.
So she was never really diagnosed, wasn't going to accept diagnosis the way that she is. Until I was diagnosed, and it was kind of like, oh, you get that from me.
Yeah.
It's like me, you have the stuff that I have. So, it made me a stronger person. So it made me a stronger and an understanding person too. It made me aware of knowing triggers and knowing what's going on. So it has always been a driving factor for me. It never really affected me in a negative way until I have my life instances that onset me to being diagnosed with bipolar from work. So mine was more work, started as work-related PTSD, which brought on the other things. And then when you go to the therapist and you break down, of course they ask you, how was this? Do you have these health factors? Then you answer your family history, and you kind of get to that's where you are. That's what's going on with you, and you learn to cope with it. So of course, with my kids, I've had the manic moments, I've had the depressed moments, I've had those things, but it wasn't for me tied to how I was brought up. How I brought up and who I brought up with helped me to deal with coping, knowing how to deal with it and finding better ways. That's all important. But this is me. You find a better way.
Yeah.
So it has this dynamic. Yeah. Once you go there, it's really be yelling and screaming, and it's hard to calm yourself down. knowing that self-control. So that's a lot of what I focused on, taking away from it even as a child, is learning to self-control for myself, or how finding ways to cope for myself, or how am I going to calm myself down, rather than going to prayer immediately, knowing you're there. And there's moments when you're there, you just can't
come back.
It's just there. I've been there. Yeah, you just can't come back until it's past.
Yeah.
It's over, or you have other emotion that breaks.
Correct.
You know, if it's crying or whatever, to that other emotion breaks, or you're too tired.
Yeah, I know that feeling.
Too tired from, you've exhausted yourself from the emotion. So I've experienced all those things, but I don't take it. I guess I don't even take bipolar the way that everybody takes it. The bipolar, or I want to kind of change the stigma around it, of saying that there's control to it. Yes, you have control, because then other things come to place. Like if you notice your diet, because I lost a lot of weight, and even losing weight, you get into the emotions of your body changes, the science side of it. There's a lot of things that what you eat, making sure you look up what's good for all of those things play a factor in the control of it.
Correct.
Even down to, like, if you're one that chooses medication, and there comes a point that you may be to the point where you need medication, but you also don't have to stay on medication.
Correct.
You could use alternate things, because it's sometimes how your medication you choose. Like I didn't like that there was a medication at one point when it was a very bad manic point for me, that it just made me drowsy all day.
I hated that.
So, but I also had to make a decision of what I was going to do differently, how I was going to get back to the other side of when I went out on medication. Like, I'm not on medication or taking medication now, but I'm not saying whatever I'm, working on holding my strength for those triggers where things don't happen again. But even now, even in building a business, retiring early, going back to just things that have affected, like my decision of retiring early, how those things affected the whole picture of remembering the why. Yeah. So for me, it's more so learning those things for someone. Now I do love, so that's kind of me in a nutshell on the bipolar part. So that's why I do tell people, like, in environments, because some people like to know they're not alone. So some environments, it's okay. Like we talked about in that summer's a time and a place for everything. Yeah. So is it something that I go, oh, bipolar everywhere, that I'm go like a warning sign? No. Yeah. You don't use it as a warning sign. Do I use it to put it on my Schedule A to apply for a job with the federal government, or answer the question on a job application? Yes. It's a benefit for both of us. Correct. It's a benefit for both of us. So I do, so it's known, yes, this is a part of me, but it does not define me. For me. It's not, I want to, stamp that you say this is me, and this is how you have to do it. Correct. And take it in any moment. No, that's not the case. It's even when I'm having my moments, I'll isolate myself. It's about self-awareness. You know that there are some extra, like with anything, there may be some extra triggers. So that's kind of what I mainly, when I talk about being bipolar, or talking to groups, it's about that accountability. Mm-hmm. And accountability comes with, because that's mainly it. There's outside factors are going to happen. They happen to everybody in life, but it's the accountability for self of what you can control, which is only yourself. And it starts a lot with mindset and health. Correct. For me, mentality and physical mentality, all of those things. So mindset is the biggest thing around it for you. So what I wanted to ask you though, so what is your purpose behind the podcast? Okay, so what is your purpose?
It's a whole platform that I have. The podcast is a part of my platform. I have the YouTube channel that goes as well, and I have my blog. So all of it, the point that I did it to be fully transparent, and everybody already knows this because it's all over my blog, my podcast, and everywhere. I was very selfish when I did this. I did this last January 2021. No, January 2020. Right? 2022. 2021. I don't know. I'm beginning to get my years confused now. This whole COVID thing has me all jacked up. I did it because of COVID. So yeah, because 2021. Yeah, so it's 2021 because it made it now a year. So I did it. I was trying to find a way to keep myself alive. I'm suicidal, homicidal. So I have 2 autistic kids who also have mental health issues. They have bipolar because of me as well, besides having autism. And then I have an active toddler who is a Gemini. And on top of being a Gemini, she's also half Haitian and half Puerto Rican. So 2 islanders mixed in one little body. Oh my God, it's like, forget it. She's just a firecracker. Like, I would say if I thought she had something, I would say heck yeah. Because she's all over defiant, hard-headed, strong-willed, but I know it's just her personality. Not necessarily that she has anything going on. It's just her character. She's got mom and dad, and that's just our genetics, and it's in there. So I created the platform because I could not find... I literally Googled parenting with mental illness. Nothing popped up. No support groups, no suggestions. Google had nothing to help me. Nothing. Google never has nothing to help me. Google always has answers. Google always has everything. Google is my life source. So when I couldn't find anything, I was like, oh, no. Something's got to give. There's got to be more people out there in my situation where either they have something going on and their kids also have something going on, or their kids have something going on and it's driving them insane because they can't find, the correct support or people that understand where they're coming from. I have the best of both worlds. I have something going on and I'm raising kids that have something going on at the same time. So not only am I responsible for my mental health, but I'm responsible for 2 mental healths and a normal one. I have never raised a normal child. So we created the platform to hold us, because my oldest is also suicidal, so to hold us accountable while trying to advocate for parenting and mental illness. So basically, I'm building a platform to advocate for parents like myself, for parents like you, who have a definition, who have something, but it doesn't define us. It does not make us. It does not break us. It does not make who we are. Like, we know we have it, but it does not make us. We just know how to survive with it, live with it, and grow with it, basically. Like, I tell my kids all the time, you have autism, you're bipolar, you have PTSD, cool. But it doesn't define who you are. You define the condition. You decide what you can and cannot do. You don't give it the power to say what you can't and can't do. Like, I will never limit them or myself on whatever we can and can't do because we have something. So this was also another... I'm an introvert. We're all introverts. We really don't like people. We're not people persons. Like, I used to be a supervisor for CVS. I used to be a preschool teacher. I used to be a head toddler teacher. I used to work a paraprofessional. Like, I've done jobs. I've had to be around people. Did I prefer to be around people? No. Kids are my favorite. I prefer kids over anything. But I was always a mentor type of person. I was always a go-to help people type of person. That's within me. That has always been my nature. My grandmother raised me that way. She was, I say bipolar. I bet you she was alive. She would yell at me and tell me no, she wasn't. But I would still say she was bipolar. Back then, didn't believe in diagnosis. Same thing with your grandmother. There was none of that. In my family, you didn't have shit. You fought for yours and you got yours. You made it work with what you had going on because it didn't define who you were. Like, you still had the same expectations anybody else had. You just made it work however you could. And she was an educator. She had her doctorates in education. Like, she taught us that she worked with Down syndrome. She worked with autistic children. She worked with everything. I worked with her for years. So me having this platform was not something new because I've always helped people, but new because now I'm putting myself out there. Like, I'm the one that used to hide behind people. We're taking a picture, I'm hiding back here. You know, like, I was never the one to put myself in nobody's platform, nowhere, be up front to say anything. If I had a voice to say it, I would still say it behind somebody else. Because that's how much of an introvert I was. I'd be literally talking to you with, like, my head down here. But my aura and my demeanor is so demanding that I can't hide. People always still, like, I could, and I'm still, hey, you. I'm like, damn. Oh, yeah. And I mean, I can't hide. So why stop myself from shining where I know I'm meant to shine, all because of my PTSD and my insecurities? So this was another way of me saying enough is enough. I'm not going to let my PTSD, my conditions, my past, or what my egg donor did stop me from being who I know I'm meant to be. I mean, I'm 42 now. I think it's about time I said, you know, enough is enough, and got up off my behind and became that person. We're already at rock bottom. Like, we live at a motel, we're homeless, we have no support system. Now we have no income coming in because my daughter's SSI got stopped. So I have to fight hers. Mine is still being thought of because I'm ending up in a wheelchair slowly. So I still get use of my legs. I just can't use them like a regular person would. I have to make sure my wheelchair is right there, because I will either they give out, or I get tired, like, get fatigued, because I overdo it. I will overdo it. I will milk them until they can't work no more. Like, I'll be like, I'm using my legs until my legs say they can't. Like, that's it. But this platform is for that. I want to try to help as many people as possible know that, yeah, you may have, you know, anxiety. Yeah, you may have depression. Yeah, you may be bipolar. Yeah, you may have schizophrenia. But it does not have to define who you are. You can still be whoever you want to be, do whatever it is that you want to do, and still thrive and survive. And life can kick you in your behind like it's kicking mine, but get up and keep pushing. Like, if I can get up and keep pushing, and I have nothing, and I'm living with rats and roaches, and we're basically down at our lowest point, and if we are telling you during our lowest point to get off your ass and get up and keep pushing, then, you know what I'm saying, anybody can make it. Hence why I did the platform. I'm trying to just be that motivation for myself, for my kids, and for anybody else out there who needs it, because not only does it save them, but it saves us at the same time.
So we're kind of, in your podcast, we're kind of following your journey through.
It's kind of, yeah, right now. Yeah, so right now, at the moment, it kind of does follow my journey of what I'm going through. But I also do speak on, you know, different type of subjects. And I'm trying to get people to, I guess, look within themselves at the same time. So even though you have this, what are you doing about it? Okay, so what? All right, you have anxiety, so what? Okay, you have depression, so what? A lot of people use what they have as an excuse to not thrive, as an excuse to not show up and show out, to not be their best person. So while I'm doing all of that, I am giving my story because I want people to be able to use my story to motivate themselves if need be, because some people just need to see somebody go through it, and they need to see, damn, if that person could do it, then shoot, what excuse do I have? I got 2 good legs, I have 2 good arms. I don't have any reason to not get off my ass and do, you know. And if she has no legs, or has 2 autistic kids, and household that is like madness constantly, and she's still making it, running, trying to run her shop, trying to do this, trying to do that, trying to get a dual certificate in health and life coaching and blah, 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 and she's making it, then what excuse do I have? I'm hoping that the journey itself also motivates whoever it is that needs to go get whatever it is that they need to get up to go get it. Like, whatever excuse they're saying in their head to next time, or later, or I'm not ready yet, or this is not the right time, or tomorrow ain't promised to nobody. I learned that the hard way when I lost my legs. One day I was walking, the next day I wasn't, literally. 24 hours, that's how they went. 1 minute I was walking, the next minute I literally forgot how to walk. I had to have my daughter and my neighbor walk me inside, and I couldn't even move my legs. And the moment I hit that bed and I laid down, that was the moment my whole entire body stopped moving, and we had to call 911. I basically met death, and I didn't even know I was going to meet death, much less lose my legs. And all of this mattered in 24 hours. There was no warning signs. There were no nothing. It just, boom. So my motto, every time I end, I try to remind everybody, tomorrow ain't promised to nobody. You have to live for today and live for right now. You have to do what you need to do today and right now. So my journey is pretty much, that's what I'm trying to push. Use whatever you got. Do it today. Don't wait till tomorrow. Use me. If you got to use me, use me. I don't care. Use me. Like I tell, use me. Use me. I don't mind being used. Like, use me. That's what I'm here for. If I got to be that reminder, every time you want to get down or depressed or you think you want to take your life away and I got to be that person's reminder, play my video. Play my podcast. Remind yourself. That's what I'm here for. That's the reason why I'm doing this. Follow my journey, follow my story. You hear my breakdown. If my breakdown is going to give you that moment and that clarity, then I don't care that you saw me in my most. But I also want to motivate. So in the same time that I'm giving my side part of my story, I'm also trying to give the uplifting and the positive and messages all within between, because I'm not trying to break nobody, open no wounds, and leave them like that. I'm trying to heal and I'm trying to grow. But like I started saying as of recently, I'm like a butterfly. Like this whole entire process, my podcast, my blog, my YouTube, my whole entire platform, my whole entire brand is like a butterfly. We're trying to just grow. We're in the cocoon process right now. Like I got a Facebook group I'm trying to build also, where I want to grow mentors out of there. That's why I'm trying to get the dual life coaching certificate. I want to then train others to be able to be that support system for others like us. So that's what that group is supposed to be for. Let's say you happen to have a mental breakdown on that day. Nobody's going to understand you like others that are like you. You can go talk to your therapist, your friend, your mama, whoever. But sometimes you got to explain a little bit deeper why you felt that way, because they don't go through that. So they don't understand why you felt that way. So this way, they don't have to go to try to find somebody. They can just go into the support group. They'll have somebody already, that was attached to them. That's their go-to person. Boom, that's that person that's there for you. Within that group, I plan to do, some lives at least once a week while I touch bases on certain different topics, whether it be how to handle triggers while you're parenting, or how to acknowledge or recognize a trigger before it comes along, or while you're within that trigger, and then how to pull back. Because I've had to learn these things. I'm starting to get good at, damn, I'm triggered right now. Shit. Alright, let me fall back. It's time to just wave the white flag. Let's stop. Can't parent right now. It's the wrong time. It's the wrong time. I need to stop. Call quits, retreat. Because if I keep going, this is going to get worse. But back then, I used to keep going, not realizing, hold on, this is a trigger. Things like that is things that we don't get taught. We don't get taught these things in therapy. A therapist can't teach us that if they never went through that. Only another person that's been in those shoes can actually teach you these little techniques. And if it worked, amazing. And if it didn't, but you were able to tweak it or add on to it, or because of that format, you were able to come up with your own, you then came up with something that you may be able to help somebody else with. Because that one didn't work for you. Now you probably came up with a game plan that we could add on now to our techniques for other people to help them out. So it's a big, I see something huge for my whole entire platform. So it's not just even, I don't even care about my story. Like, whoever uses my story to survive, kudos, I love it. But it's not even about me no more. I don't even give a damn about me no more. Like, it's bigger than that. It started off with me. It started off with, I have to stay here. How can I tell other people to stay here and I'm not here? Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to look like a hypocrite. I don't want to be called a liar because I don't like lying. I'm not a liar. So I can't tell people to stay alive and then I go kill myself. It's going to kill my self-conscious in the other world. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to be up there like, damn, I done told everybody else not to do this, but I turn around and I went and I did it. I failed everybody. But now it's bigger than that. Now it's like I ran into you in the community, in the seminar, and I'm like, ooh, look. Ooh, there's another person there. I ran into one of the other girls who DM'd me, and I'm trying to get her to jump up for a chit chat too, because she also has bipolar. Like, ooh, I ran into another one. So, see, told you, everything's in the line, and now I'm finding people when I couldn't find them. So now is like the perfect opportunity to help even more people. I've had people hit me up and say, because of XYZ episode where you broke down, I felt more comfortable now being who I am. I'm like, well, I'm happy that my breakdown helped you out, but that breakdown was kind of hard for me to come back from. Like, I was going through my hardest at that point. But I'm happy that it helped you, understand who you are, and you didn't have to go through a breakdown in order for you to understand it. That made me feel like I could do this and I can survive, and this platform is helping me. So, geez, I have to be helping other people. That's why you sharing your story, and whoever else I can get on the podcast to share their story, I feel like if my story, and I know there's people with bigger stories than mine, but if my story is helping somebody, then I know any other story I can run into can definitely help anybody else, because everybody's condition is different. Everybody deals with it differently. Everybody copes differently. Everybody processes differently. What may be sensitive for me may not be sensitive for you. What may be sensitive for somebody else may not be for the rest of us. It's good to show all those faces. This way nobody feels left out. That's my goal.
That's true. That's true, because that's like I said, for me, the race part made me stronger to accept what I went through to get to as the adult. Like, being raised by a strong woman, and it for me was well rounded. Like how you call, I keep hearing you say you call it your egg donor.
Yeah.
So your egg donor. So I don't have that, even not being raised by my parents.
Yeah.
That to me, that's a blessing, because I got raised by my grandma, and I feel like I wouldn't be the woman that I am
if she didn't raise you.
Grandma. If I'd been raised by my mom, I'd be different. I'm pretty sure I'd be different. My parents was still. If I was one of the ones with parents together, I'd be different. I don't think I would have been able to maneuver in life. And who say, you never know. Maybe I could have been better. I don't know. I don't know. It could have been better or worse. But for me, I love at the end of the day, I love how I was raised.
Yeah.
Could it have been better? Yeah, everything has been better. Could I raise my kids better? Yeah, I could do some things better. We all can find ways in which we could do things better. But what it prepared me is when I got to an adulthood, and when I got to the point of making a decision of moving up. Like, I graduated high school early. I started college early. I retired at 31 from the Department of Treasury. But making that decision of retiring is because I was raised by a woman that, at the end of the day, she wasn't going to take nothing from nobody. Okay? That gave me the strength to say, when it got to the point of starting to have work-related PTSD and things that going on, and just morally not being there, my childhood gave me the strength to say,
enough.
You know what? I feel like y'all about to be triggered when I come to this job, and you're gonna pull something out that's not the person that I am. It's time to say goodbye. Where I was ready to resign, it came with the title of being able to move up fast, because my grandma's always pushed me. I do things in life so that you can be better. That was always, if I make this sacrifice, it's like the Bible. I made these sacrifices, so your sacrifices are not the same. So you don't have to do the same sacrifices, so you can do better. Same way that I do my kids. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
So when it came to getting to the point of making life-altering decisions that can, PTSD, and people don't really talk about PTSD in different ways of things, because when I say work-related PTSD, people are like, what? Okay, this is what triggered all of these things for me. It wasn't just life facts. Everybody has life facts. I've seen a lot of things in life. Like I talked about on the podcast, I am child whose parent has been in prison. So it's different aspects to it that build up to where you can't, you just chemically, the science part of it, just stop adding up. Stress brings on I've had health issues where it was stress related. I'm going to the doctor to get MRIs, and it was because of, for my personal development decision at the end of the day, while the decision of leaving and retiring from my job was liberating in the moment, after a year of it, it was like, you gave up what you built to. You gave up and made a life-altering decision as a mom, as a woman, as a wife, and all of this stuff. You made an life-altering decision, and one thing after another hits after that. But it was the coming back of it, and that's how I got into I went into volunteering to try to whatever my next move. I went into applying for these jobs that then tell me that you're overqualified and underqualified. Underqualified because you accelerated and did all this and went into leadership very fast, but you haven't finished your degree yet.
Yeah.
But you got all this experience in the federal government and in leadership, but can you just go get a degree? So I did that. I went and got a degree, went back to school and finished that, and still getting the same answers of overqualified from my experience early on that people can't pay you. So ended up they don't want to pay you what you're worth, and I'd be even asking for less pay. I just wanted to get back to work.
Wow.
I didn't ask you for that pay. I know I used to get paid. I'm just trying to get back into the door, but I'm not trying to go back to that door. I'm not going back that door, that route. I'm trying to take these and go other ways. And life will then hit you. And so when you start getting with life, it does make you, second guess. For me, bipolar is me dealing with me.
Yeah.
When I can, me controlling me. I don't take the outside factors. It's okay, they're gonna happen. Everybody's going through. It's how I deal with them, and me getting upset with myself. I don't deal with them in the best. What I feel is the best. It's the being hard on myself. I'm my biggest cheerleader and worst critic all at the same time. And having that balance of having that support of somebody that really understands that, because everybody always so hard on myself. Not like I'm hard on myself. I'm really hard on myself.
Correct. It's not the same hard.
Yeah, it's not the same hard, and I can be so forgiving and tell everybody else that it's okay, but inside of me, it's, no, you know what you're capable of.
You know better than that. How dare you? Why would you do that?
Yes, you can do that. Why you haven't did it the next one? See, and not knowing when you just need to take a break.
Yeah.
When you put too much on yourself and you keep pushing yourself, and it leads to other things. And I'll just keep pushing myself and overextending myself, and just keep doing this, and not saying no. And I'll help them out, and making yourself a sacrifice. And not knowing when to say no. I had to find all those balances, all those things where the fact is for me, I can do it. I can take it. No. Learning when to sit down.
Yep.
When to stop pushing yourself. When it's okay to say it's not a good day.
Correct.
All of those things were things that I work on to get better. So initially, even when I first listened to your podcast, I was like, I remember that was me. And I remember when I wanted to get on the podcast and just do that. Nobody's listening, so I'm just gonna video blog. So I just start voice diaries and stuff. And when you play them back, I'm like, okay, I don't think, I don't know. I'm just like you. One time to the next time. And I'm like, okay, are they gonna follow me along? So I love that you I was like, oh, I really get where she was going, but I need to know what's her mission for it, because I remember being in those places and wanting to get on a podcast and just rant and get it all out and tell somebody this and this and this and this, and my brain going this place, and oh wow. And I was saying, somebody needs to hear it raw and uncut. That's
how I feel. Honestly, I feel the only way people are really going to understand a mental health person's mind frame, or is by actually seeing it raw and uncut. Like, I'm going to be non-apologetically me. That's the only way you're going to be able to really be a good support system, or really understand your girlfriend or your cousin or your friend or your mom or your sister or whoever it is that you need to understand to why you're listening to my podcast, even if it's yourself. Like, I have questioned, let me tell you, my podcast and my videos and my blogs are the only things I do not question in my life. Every content that I have posted are the only things that I do not question in my life. But it's because it's unapologetically me. It's the raw me. It's what I'm feeling, what I'm thinking, what I'm seeing. Sometimes I get the aha moments when I'm recording it. And in the process of talking my content to help somebody else, I'll be like, wow, 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 wow. Literally, it's happened to me so many times. And I'll be like, see, this is why I do it too, because not only am I helping somebody else, but I'm healing myself in the process. I can't steal that from somebody else. I can't steal that from somebody else. How much more raw data and material can I show than myself? You know, I'm my own case study for my whole health and life coaching, if you really think about it. I can't give any more raw data than myself. I can't prove that the steps or suggestions and ideas that I'm giving people work if I'm not showing the full, true rawness of the whole ordeal. And not just that, I had a friend of mine the other day, she was like, dude, I like your stories when I read them, but I don't like when you put it on the podcast, because then I really feel like I'm going all over the place. I said, good. That's my whole point. I said, now you know what my brain actually looks like. She stopped and she was like, I never thought about it that way. She was like, I really never thought of it. She's like, you know what? Hold on. I'm going to go back and listen to it again. She was like, how do you function with your brain racing like that? I said, I don't know. That's just the way it is. I said, but the fact that you had a difficult time, I applaud myself, because I got to really transfer what I wanted to transfer. So I accomplished my mission. It was meant for you to really see my mind racing and going all over the place. I got to put it on paper and I got to articulate it. So I did what I set out to do. Like, you not understanding it, kudos. I'm not meant to explain it to you, but the task was done. Down the line, you may be able to get more based off whatever else the content comes along. Then she hit me back up and she was like, I get it. It all goes together now. She was like, but I understand you so much more now than I did back then. And mind you, she was an employee of mine. Like, I was her supervisor. And my OCD is horrible. So when I say she got to understand me, she really got to understand me, because they knew not to drop a crumb on my floor. They knew not to leave a crumb on my counter. They knew all of our utilities, because I used to work at a restaurant at the rest stop on the highway. So health department never shut us down. My joint was always clean, always spotless. I mean, I kept it like my kitchen. If I wasn't going to eat from it, I was not going to let nobody else eat from it either. That's just my motto. If I ain't eating out of it, ain't nobody else eating out of it. And if you can't eat off that floor, then I ain't eating from it either. That was just my thing. And they always knew, like, they were always like, oh no, there's a spill. Lynette, don't look. Stay over there. We'll tell you when you can look or when you can move. And I always knew, like, I wouldn't look. I did a little peek just to see how bad it was, just so I could know what to expect when they would clean it. I'd be like, motherfucker, no. And I keep doing what I'm doing. Then when they tell me they done, then I'll go look. You wouldn't even be able to tell there was anything there to begin with. Like, that's how my crew used to move. So when she came back and she told me, I now can understand you better. And now I understand, like, why you were the way you were, but it made me a better person. She was like, because now I'm on top of my stuff better than what I was. Like, you gave me techniques on things that I didn't even pay no attention to. This was not intentional. This is me being anal. Like, this is just my OCD. But now I'm opening her eyes to certain things that even though we don't work together and we're not near each other, but if you run into somebody else like me, now you'll know how to function with them better. Now you'll understand that it's not personal. You know, it's never personal. It's never going to be personal unless I vocally tell you it's personal. And I will tell you it's personal. Like, I'm transparent. I'll let you know I don't like you from jump. Point blank period. And no matter what you do, I'm not going to like you. I'm just one of those people. If I just don't vibe with you, I just don't vibe with you, unfortunately. But it's all over the place content because it's all over the place life. I can't pretend to be something we're not. I can't pretend to be something we're not going through. I can't organize something that's not organized. Plus, I'm an unorganized person, which is weird. Like, I have an unorganized life. When I've tried to organize it, it doesn't work. It doesn't work. Every time I try to organize my life, like organize my day by even do a schedule, like time it just doesn't always work out that way. It somehow gets messed up. The schedule just never goes as planned. Whenever I let the day lead me to what it needs to be, even for my content, it goes so much better than if I try to plan my stuff. I get more stressed out. I get more overwhelmed. I feel like the content is pushed and is not genuine. So in order for me to be able to reach more people, yeah, it's all over the place, but half of us are all over the place if we're honest. But I'm hoping that when I start to continue to grow more and get cleaned up more and more organized, it's seen more than the content, and that route is being seen, so whoever's traveling with me is also doing that growing along with me as well. So I want that. Like, I want everybody to go through those stages with me. I don't want them to be alone. I want them to grow with me. Not just follow me, not just listen to me, not just, I don't know, listen to my content, laugh, cry, whatever they do. I want them to grow, take those changes and embed them in themselves as well. Especially if they see themselves in me, then learn from mine and just do the opposite. Like, grow with me. Like I tell people on my Instagram, you're not alone. I'm right here with you. My wounds aren't closed. I'm not afraid to say, hey, my wounds are still open. I'm still healing. I ain't perfect. A lot of people don't want to admit their wounds are still open. They want to act like everything's good and gravy and they don't have those wounds. Nope. They're open, sweetie. They're wide open. I'm working on them. I'm a work in progress, but there's nothing wrong with that. Society makes it seem like there's a problem with that as well. That's what the platform is there too. That's why I wanted to get your story out also. I feel like the more my viewers and my listeners realize there's more people out there like us, the more they will realize it's okay to not be okay. It's okay to have open wounds and be healing. We don't have to be perfect. As long as you're taking that stride and that step to that goal, that's all that matters. One day at a time. Stop thinking about tomorrow. Stop thinking about next week. Stop thinking about next month. You just got to make it to today. Make it through today.
And that doesn't work for me. I'm the total opposite.
See?
The free fall makes me mad.
Really?
Okay, I have to have structure. Like, I have to have structure. I have to have a plan. I have to have plans in place. I have the whole live vicariously is what drives me up.
See, I have both. I have plans in place, but I do my day to day. Because if I focus too much on my long, I get too overwhelmed and stressed out that I screw up my right now. So I can't, I know, I'm taking my health coach and life coaching program. I know that in 9 weeks, I'll start taking clients. If I focus too much on the fact that I know in 9 weeks I'm going to start taking clients, I will screw up everything from here until then. So I have to focus on my right now. Focus on my collaborations. Focus on, every other free seminar I've signed up for. Focus on all the work I'm supposed to do right now so that I'll be ready for when the 9 weeks come. But everything that I'm focusing on a day-to-day basis is getting me ready for the 9 weeks. But I can't go too far, only because in my life, I've always had things come and knock it down. So every time I try to go too far off, something negative always happens. Like, for example, my daughter's SSI being stopped. She was supposed to have had completely her SSI for adulthood. It wasn't supposed to be stopped. We were planning on that money to move to an apartment to finally get out of here. Out of nowhere, it stopped. I planned ahead. Now I'm knocked. That's why I can't plan too ahead, because always something happens, and then now I'm knocked. Now I'm stuck with, I don't have the income to move out of here. I don't have the ability to move out of here. I had plans to move. Now those plans are gone. Now my mind has to refocus back on, I'm going to live in this hellhole a little longer than I thought I was. I put all my hopes and dreams on getting out of here. Now I have to refocus my mind frame on how to survive longer stuck here where I'm already feeling like I can't make it. How do I do that? That's why I can't go too far ahead, because then if something knocks it, I go with, see, told you the universe don't like me. And here goes a negative mind frame that I have due to my egg donor. And that negative jail that I stay in comes in and doesn't leave. I wish I had the ability you did, because if I did, I probably would do bigger things. But I can't, because it always somehow something knocks it, and then I feel like I wasn't entitled to it, or I feel like it was too good for me. I don't know. It just doesn't.
That's what I'm saying. That's the mindset. That's the mindset.
Yeah.
And that's and it's the way that you look at the. You're looking at. So you. The focus is you're moving out in that time frame. That doesn't necessarily have to change. It may alter a little bit. Don't know if you took the money and that you were counting on and had pictured just this place, but you still can make it happen. That's the, like, you still can make it. You're gonna get out of that time frame. So the only thing altered is what the funds were to get you out. That
was the thing. We have no funds now. So that's what ends up happening. Since there's no funds now, we can't move. Because ain't no landlord going to go with... Because no landlord's going to let us go with the RRP only. Like right now, the RRPs was paying the motel's bill. So I can't just go to a landlord, hey, by the way, let me just move in and the RRP is going to be paying the rent until... Because you're allowed to get the RRP for 18 months. And they'll pay your rent for 18 months. So I can't just go to a new landlord and go, hey, by the way, so we're not going to be paying rent, for XYZ amount of months. The program will be. You cool with that? Like, I don't have income to show. And down here where we are in Virginia, you have to show 3 times the rent.
Yeah, that's here in Atlanta too. You got to pay 3 times.
So
where you go 3 times the rent.
And back home, they didn't care about none of that. Back home, whenever we rented, it was always private homing. Like, even if you did an apartment building, they never really cared about how much you made, as long as you paid the rent. That's all it ever was. So I don't have renter's history, because back in Connecticut, they weren't doing none of that at all. Now, my one apartment down here threw $13,000 on my renter's history because they did an illegal eviction during COVID. And it's not even in the court system, so the program that was going to help me pay it off to get it off of my credit can't do it because it's not a court-filed thing. They just went behind the court system and put it on my credit. So we're literally all just stuck. Not having the income left me here. Now leaves me knocked on the ground. So that's why I can't be the type to go ahead, because all the obstacles just knock it all out. But I see it too.
I'm sorry. Look, my financial brain, that's just how I am. So, okay, yeah, that's my passion. I work in my passion.
If I would have saved, I would have known her money was going to be cut off. If I would have received the mail, because they send it to the old address. If I would have received the mail with the warning ahead of time, hey, it's going to cut off, I would have been able to appeal it, 1, so it would have never been cut off. 2, I would have banked it. Like, I would have budgeted everything, because I'm a budgeter also. Like, I would have budgeted everything, banked as much as I could have banked.
Now, how are you a budgeter and you don't like thinking ahead?
Because being homeless, there's a lot. Like, for example, if the rats ends up eating our food and we run out of food stamps, I have to buy the food. The food stamps don't end up lasting the whole month, so the money has to go for the food. The rats take a lot of our food. And then we don't have transportation, so I have to find to get to and from the doctors due to the whole wheelchair thing. Then we spend a lot on just trying to survive day to day, period. And it's his SSI is only 400, and then TANF is only 400. That's not gonna do anything at all. And that's not including that I'm a chronic smoker of my trees because of my chronic pain. Like, I can't. Man, listen, me and Mary Jane, we smoke from the time I get up.
It's fake pen. It's not Mary Jane, though. It's just a regular.
No, yeah, listen. Me and Mary Jane, we smoke from the time I get up to the time I go to sleep, okay? That's the only way that, one, my children stay alive and I stay alive. Because when the bipolar side want to kick in, Mary Jane does his job and it chills me out. That's one. Two, Mary Jane stops my brain from racing. It literally allows me to just focus and zone in and tune everything else out, and it doesn't let me beat myself up. Three, it kills all my chronic pain. Oh my God, it takes the edge off.
Have you tried CBD?
It don't work. I tried the gummies. Man, listen, I done ate a whole jar of gummies. My son, I gave HIT to him though. He said it helped him out. I told him when I get some more money, I was gonna buy him some more gummies. My daughter smokes with me though, because it helps her stimming. When she starts to do the stimming, now she stims. She never stimmed before, but now she does the autism stimming, and her autism is really off now. So whenever she gets like that, she'll smoke, get regrounded.
Your kids are older.
Huh?
So how old are your kids?
19, 13, and 3.
Okay.
Yeah, she didn't start smoking until she was 17. And then I gave him the gummies because he has ODD on top of his ADD and his autism. Man, listen, I ain't got time for all of that. Nah, man. And you going through puberty? Nah,
I know about the ODD.
Either I'm going to go to jail or he going to be 6 feet. Man, listen.
No.
And he bipolar too? Man, listen. ADHD, ADD, ODD, bipolar, and he has autism?
Yeah, that's a lot.
They're all defiant. So, but nah, I budget, but it doesn't always work out. Either somebody ended up stealing, because he steals food. So he'll steal the food, and even though we portion to try to help us, rationalize.
I understand.
Yeah.
My son, I could never get him diagnosed with ODD, but I swear that's what he is.
Everything is the opposite of what you say, man.
Man, he gets up and eat all day, all night.
That's my son. The doctor put him on metformin, right? She goes, I'm putting him on metformin because he's overweight and I'm worried about him and diabetes runs in your family. I said, okay. It's supposed to control his appetite. Yeah, right. It hasn't controlled anything. But definitely, so I wanted to see if you wanted to for the podcast show, if you wanted to give the listeners anything, or if you wanted to do like a call of action to anything for you have a business, right?
Yes, that's why I started asking you the financial stuff, because that's out of my brain. I'm a investment broker. I have financial services business. I'm an investment broker, insurance agent, and a lot of other financial products. So I do financial needs analysis. That's why I started asking you questions. But that's naturally me. So that's how I really got into this of what I do business wise, because that's the first thing that always people come to me about, especially return from the Department of Treasury. That's just how
you have the knowledge.
Love numbers and those things. So that's why I'm like, okay, I know we don't have to talk, but now I'm like, okay, do we need to sit down and do your financial needs analysis.
I do need one of those, but I ain't got no money.
You're still listen. The money you have. That's been the
Man, listen, I owe so much money.
I don't have no money.
I owe.
Okay, that's why we having a conversation.
Yo, I sit down and I be writing my budget, right? I be writing my bills, and I be like, I don't know how I pull this off every month. Somehow I be pulling it off. I don't be having the funds, but I still be pulling it off, and I be making it work. But it when I sit down and put it on paper, it don't make no sense because it doesn't make any sense how I pull it off. But I be making it work. But I gotta get my financials together because I'm gonna start making actual money, and I need to not have this happen ever again. I mean, but this was because we couldn't find nowhere to go at the last minute, and then we just got stuck here, and then everything else fell downhill. Not because we didn't know how to financially be stable. That had nothing to do with it. I just couldn't find an apartment to rent before I had to just leave the other apartment. So like I've never had financial problems like that. I've always had like an egg nest until I ran into somebody. Some people bring you downhill, and you realize it afterwards, and you're like, man, I should have never made those decisions or those moves. They caused. Yeah, I had one of those moments, and I'm still trying to recuperate from them. Yeah, it's like 7 years later, and I'm still trying to recuperate.
Sometimes it takes a while, but that's why you have to have a plan in place. But yeah, that's actually like the free part, education part of my business is doing financial needs analysis and helping people chart a plan. That's what I started asking these questions. I'm like, okay, it's naturally me.
Yeah.
That's why working in your passion is important.
Yes.
And being passionate about what you're doing is important. Making sure you're aligned. The rest comes along. So that's kind of how I got into what I'm doing, or really I tried to avoid it. I really just but it's just it makes my day teaching others about finances and making sure they have accounts that are set up for the long term, or teaching kids about the accounts, different accounts that are available to kids, and investing their money and saving their money, and
that I need to do.
And having life insurance, because that's the other part of it. So you got to be full circle. You have to prepare for living well, so it's dying. And sometimes, even like with people like us, life insurance saves lives. If your wives are strong enough, you need something to count on. You get your insurance policy and learn that you can't be suicidal unless you got two years and 1 day.
Correct.
That policy where you're like, I want to leave my kids out, and you having them thoughts. The insurance is safe if you read the provisions in case you got to survive 2 years and 1 day.
Yes. No, it's true though.
Yeah, you start counting like, okay, I got another day to live, and then them 2 years and 1 day come, your whole life has changed because you've been counting days for one thing. You found out that you got purpose.
Correct.
So
it's true though. Anything you find to hold on, then you find you got a bigger purpose, and you keep on holding on even stronger.
Exactly, you keep on holding on even stronger to it. So that's what I do as far as financing and helping people figuring out ways to do it. So, like I said, you're when you're licensed, you already have a job. You have something lined up when you get these life coaching license. You're just gonna fully open your business to accepting clients.
So I know they start putting us out there to take clients on the 9th week. But I plan to have my own. It's gonna be attached to my parenting and mental illness platform. So it's going to be all intertwined together. My goal is I plan to have, it's going to be one coaching business, but I want 2 tiers. I want my low clientele and my high clientele. I want to be able to serve my community, but I also want to be able to serve the higher clientele as well. So I don't want to leave my people behind because my people need it. I know I need it. So I know there's more out there like me that need it. But I also know realistically I have to survive. I have to make it as well, because if not, I'm going to forever be here, and I'm not trying to forever be here. But that's why I'm trying to have two different tiers, so I can have my big clientele, my lower clientele, but that's what the Facebook group is also for, so I can still do my advocating, my coaching, still provide a lot of free stuff, and have my business all at the same time. That's my goal. I don't know how realistically it's going to happen, because I see it so vividly. Like, I just hope it works out how I would like for it to work out. Because my goal would be that I would be able to get a high clientele to actually sponsor at least half of the price for a lower clientele. And then do a payment arrangement for a lower clientele, which would be someone like me. And not do, when I say a payment arrangement, I'm not talking about $300 a month, because I can't even afford that, and that's kind of what I'm paying. But more, when I say a payment plan, more a realistic kind of like, $50 a month if possible. Because I really want, my people to actually get the help that they need. But obviously I still have to make bread. I mean, my family still has to come first. Everything has to be paid for. Nothing in life is free. We all know this. I mean, we were told by our parents growing up, we still have to make bread. But I still want to be able to help. And in that process, I'm still going to be doing a lot of, free seminars and things like that. So, but yeah, I plan to do my own business, because I plan to put it with my platform.
Okay. So now on the business side, I know this is like so off topic, but this is just naturally me, okay? So, so on the business side, how, with your goal of attaching, because I'm going to tell you, even in doing this, and you made me do a lot of self-reflection and in your podcast, to the ones that I listened to, and it also brought up a lot with you and that higher end clientele because you're doing a coaching business. Mm-hmm. For me, I had these same thoughts because I deal with money, right? Mm-hmm. And so this is also my motivator on the bipolar side of it, because like I said, there's so many people don't understand. There's so many levels to bipolar. Like I couldn't even really get any help with counseling because they consider me so low of a level. It's like being in school and you don't need help. They be like, you don't need this much help because you're a function. You don't just need this much help, so we're not gonna really pay you any attention. But just know we're here if you need us.
Yeah.
That's kind of where I was on the chart. Had to find my own pay for healthcare. So free healthcare was a really an option for me, even after I had ocular migraine that right in my head really just made me just want to lay on the floor and cuddle up. And
I've had those.
Really got to the onset of everything. Even after coming out of that situation and having resources, this is part of why I advocated at times talk openly in small groups about it. Resources were not there for me because I'm not considered level whatever. I'm considered bipolar 1.
Yeah.
And, occasional this and occasional that, and so it's like so minute that they don't. Free resources don't help me. I have to find self-care, healthcare, and like I said, I had retired. I'm just getting back on my business. Even though I've been in business since 2019 at this point and licensed, I haven't been operating my business because I was still in healing from retiring from one thing, transitioning of all, getting this diagnosis of you're bipolar, and then what that does to you in that moment. Because even if you haven't taken your life experiences, like I've taken my life experiences as building blocks. They've made me stronger. They're lessons or whatever. But when you start getting to talking in therapy, talking to others, and being around other people that maybe didn't take it the way you take it, because I do find that I'm like an oddball even in support groups. I'm an oddball. I'm like, that's not how I looked at it. I mean, I've experienced different things. My dad was prison, but I mean, that wasn't anything shameful for me. That's his life.
Yeah.
He raised me not to do make the same decisions, and learn about sacrifice. That's still my daddy.
Yeah.
I'm about my dad.
Yeah.
So I've always, and everybody else in the group would be taking it as, this this messed up my life. And I'm like, it was a learning experience, exposure, what I learned from others. It didn't directly from me. That's always how I take it. When I first started going to therapy, they'd be like, that's what happened to you in this moment. You couldn't take this moment because you had all of this happening. And then you go into this moment of a breakdown, like, oh yeah, that could be so awful, and a pity party.
Yeah.
A pity party when you didn't see it as a pity party before.
Yeah.
And go through a whole lot of things to pick yourself back up and say, that wasn't a pity party. That's why I can count money the way I count money. That's why I can foresee this. And this is why I look at the way that I look at this stuff. And when you take it and you make it a strong story and not make it what the rest of the world is this traumatic stuff that happens.
Yeah.
So, I like for other people to challenge their thinking. And so where you are now, and you with that high clientele, like when I was thinking about doing the podcast, just like you do them as I need to get it out, on the long-term goal is what I'm challenging you to think long term. Now you want those high-end clients. How do you think that those high-end clients that you're looking for to pay for those so that you can still service? Because I'm that same way. I want to be able to service certain people, but I need to gravitate these.
Yes.
So it's like I need to be able to do it both. So there's like a time and a place that you can let it all out and get that one-on-one, which like this would be great. What you do is great. It would be great in coaching. Because people like, girl, yeah. It's like talking to your good girlfriend. You're like, you going through it too today? I'm going through it too, girl.
Yeah.
And we can have 10 conversations at once together and get it all out.
Yeah.
How is the platform thing gonna mold you to? What are you doing to mold for those clients that are higher end for you?
Well, see, this is the thing. I don't plan to change me. So who you see is who you get. I'm still going to be the same ratchet, non-ratchet. Like, I'm still going to be who I am, regardless if it's high clientele or low clientele, because who you're getting is me. You're getting me. Like, I'm a package. I'm a bundle. You got to accept me all for who I am. Low clientele, high clientele, middle clientele, off clientele, it does not matter. I mean, the same way I can get your coins, I can get the coins from somebody else. So whoever decides to come work with me has to accept the entire package for what it is. It's a raw deal. And if you don't accept the raw deal, then non-apologetically, I just can't. Because I'm not going to compromise my platform. I'm not going to compromise who I am, and I'm not changing that for anybody. And if that means that I will take me 20 years to get a high clientele and I will keep working with my low clientele, then it is what it is, but I'm being true to myself. It's my voice, and that's where I can't change me. You know what I'm saying? It's me. I advocate how I advocate because it's a genuinency. Now, when it comes to coaching, most people prefer you be your genuine self because they know they're going to get, a genuine deal. Now, if they can't accept it, like I said, then it is what it is. There's plenty of other coaches out there that they can work with. If they accept it, then hey, kudos, awesome, amazing, better. Hey, can you help another lower family out here who needs a coach? Is what I'm going to ask. It's a tax write-off for you. I mean, it's not going to really break your pockets. I'd appreciate it. Awesome, great, fantastic. But I will let it be known that my goal is to not only help high clientele, but also low clientele. My goal, I will let it be known up front. I would appreciate if you're able to, sponsor at least half a scholarship for a lower clientele. That would kind of be, not a deal breaker, not a kind of, oh my God, it has to happen, but it's an option that if you have the ability, and I know you have the ability to, it would kind of have to be a.
Okay, so you're going to be a nonprofit, or you're putting a nonprofit aspect to it because you said tax write-off?
Well, no, it's always a tax write-off when you're doing anything to better yourself for a business purpose. Half of the people that take coaching usually they're either self-made, entrepreneurs or whatever, on the high clientele end, not on the low clientele end, which is why they can write it off as a tax write-off, as a donation.
Well, you said to sponsor someone else.
That's what I mean. They can do it as a tax write-off. You can write it off as a donation for taxes.
Not if you're not writing to a nonprofit. You're going to get them into... Not if it's not right. It's not personal development when you sponsor somebody else. So when you do a charitable thing, you gotta, like, in case of an audit, you need to be given to a nonprofit.
Well, technically, if they're donating the money to pay for that person's scholarship, it's still a donation, isn't it?
Yeah, a scholarship.
That's what technically it would end up.
Scholarships attached to non.
Well, I'm not a nonprofit. I'm not trying to become a nonprofit. That's too much tax write-off. I mean, too much tax paperwork. So I'm not trying to become a nonprofit. But I would call it a scholarship. Like, it would be more of them doing a scholarship. But I know they're supposed to be able... Aren't they supposed to be able to, though?
If it's to a nonprofit, that's just giving a gift from the kindness of your heart. If you're not going to have the scholarship portion, however you do a scholarship, for that to be some type of nonprofit thing, nonprofit stuff attached to it, then
there's too much going on with the nonprofit.
Now, with them going to coaching and they're doing it for the better of their business, yes, that's personal, professional development.
Yeah, they get their money back.
For themselves.
So whatever money they give up for somebody else, it's free money, regardless.
Just be careful with the word.
I gotta look that up and think. I gotta look it up. Why did I? No, I don't know. Why did I think? I don't know. I gotta check that out. But I don't want to do a nonprofit. Lyrical, stop. I don't want to do a nonprofit because it's too much. There's way too much. Yeah, I am not. It's gonna be too much between the coaching, between my shop, and I still have to create the nails because whenever an order does get placed, if it gets placed, because thank you people for coming to the shop and look at the nails but not placing no orders. I greatly appreciate that. But anyways,
press-on nails.
Yeah, we make press-on nails right now. But technically, it's not supposed to be just press-on nails. Technically, we're supposed to be. The big game plan is. We're supposed to be creating stickers, right? So these are supposed to be planner stickers, birthday stickers, celebration stickers, old fart stickers, whatever stickers. They're supposed to be in Creole, Spanish, because the baby's dad is Haitian. So we're going to do Creole, Spanish. We were even going to throw some Jamaican ones in there because the middle one's dad is Jamaican. So like Bumbleclot and all them other beautiful stickers. We're weird and unique. So the shop is supposed to be weird and unique. Anything that you normally would not find somewhere, but you can have fun with or enjoy, would be what you would find in our shop. But it's nothing that, it would be things that we would have to make at the moment. So nothing that requires storage, because we don't have storage space. And even if we move somewhere, I'm not a hoarder. My mom was a hoarder. So my egg donor, so I can't do no hoarding. I can't do boxes. I can't do furniture. I can't do clutter. I can't do none of that. So it has to be things that will be made when ordered. So the game plan is that. But I haven't put that up on the shop yet because I refuse to take out my Cricut machine. It would cost too much money and I just don't want it to get messed up. So I have it put away in safe area until we can get out of here so I can actually pull it out. But for right now, it's just the press-on nails. But it will end up including all type of occasion stickers, even custom-made stickers where you guys can anybody can... Hey, I want a sticker of this. My daughter knows how to draw very well. She's self-taught. Has an amazing hand for painting and drawing. she can recreate something. If you send her a picture of it, she can copy it very well into a painting or a drawing. So we're gonna offer all of that on the shop as well, once we can get to a space where we can actually put out our supplies and create these things. But for right now, because all I really need is one table to create the nails, it's so much easier and simpler to do, and it doesn't take up that much space for storage. It's easy to keep them in the bins, stored nicely, protected, and good to go.
Yeah.
But that's what we sell right now. I mean, I love doing them. Don't get me wrong. I love nails. I've always loved doing nails. My egg donor always told me I couldn't do nothing. But we get the foot traffic. We just don't get the sales. I've only sold like 2 sets. It'll be May when we open for a whole year. 2 sets. That's it. We get the foot traffic. I'll sit there and I'll be like, oh great, all my Facebook ads got me a good 1,000 people this week on the page on our website, but no sales. Like I'm like, I'm about to
website.
Yeah.
You can try to put them on Etsy as well.
Well, I didn't put them. No, put it back. Thank you. I didn't put it on Etsy because Etsy doesn't give you an option how to size. It's difficult. They would have to then hit me up for sizing. That's a lot more for a customer to do. They can't just place the order. I've been
Just leave a note with the size.
That's
It's like when I got a logo made. I had to leave. I left a note on what I needed her to put on. Customize the logo to. So it's like a note section.
That's what I was trying to work around. I mean, right now on Etsy, what I have is our digital shop. So Shop Normies is on Etsy. It is on there. I didn't tell nobody that. I got my podcast because my podcast is recording, but I didn't tell nobody we are on Etsy. I have my digital shop on there. So when I say digital, like I got a potty training charts up there. I'm putting some stuff for Mother's Day up there. Until I can figure out how I can get the nails on the right way where I don't have to, where it doesn't make the customer have to do too much, but where I can at least still put up, because they only allow you a certain amount of pictures. And I would have to explain how to size their nails. So I have to be able to have that up there because you got to size your fingers, you got to measure. It's a couple of steps, so I have to be able to have the chart up there and how to measure your nails, the steps to take, because there's no refunds. So I want to make sure I have it all, able to put it all up. Can you stop? Yo, she's showing her tail off. Please stop.
It don't bother me. I tone her noise. It's only
You're annoying.
It don't bother me.
She bothering me though.
I'm just saying, it's only bothering me.
Lordy have mercy.
I can tone out. I guess that helps me too.
I could tone out too until she decides to be annoying. But because you gotta size your nails. So each nail beds are different, and then each nail tips are different sizes. So the customer has to size their nails so that you can actually get the correct size to be able to make the sets. I have to make sure that all the charts that I already have for my Shopify, I gotta make sure that they would explain it like thoroughly. Like it's more of an in-depth stuff that I would have to do for Etsy, just so I can get them on there and get them sold. Because it's not like with my Shopify. I could put the sizes up there and you just click the size you want and keep it pushing. Etsy's gonna require a little more in-depth work to get it right, because I don't want the customer to be confused. Because at first, I'm not gonna lie, when I first stepped into this press-on business world, I was like, how the fudge am I supposed to know what nail size? I was a little confused and I had to go through a couple of stores and now I'm seeing how it's going. And then when I went to Etsy, I was like, damn, I gotta figure out how to get it where I don't want the customer to have to do too much work. I want to make it an easy shop, for them. They could just pick what they want, keep it pushing, and not make it too much work. But I didn't think about the note section, so you gave me an idea. I literally forgot about the note section.
Yeah, my friend does nails, and she does press-ons, and don't ask me how, because I just go get my nails done. But I don't know about the press-on stuff. I'm not that. I'm the, let me the business logistics
Yeah.
side of it, all that artsy stuff, and y'all can keep that. So don't ask about no size. And when you get my hair done, and right, I got too many don't ask me out in the question. But no lashes, like I got enough lashes today, but I can't put them on. And I had them on earlier, but I put them on wrong. So my son asked me, was my eyes swollen? So I was like, it's swollen. What? He told me, because what is this look like this hanging down, and this one is up. Like,
Oh, wow.
Never mind, just snatch the lashes off, go about my business. All the little brown, keep today. I can't help you there, but I can tell you as a consumer, there's an open section there, and you got to measure your fingers anyway. I never.
Yeah, you gotta measure your fingers.
I mean, in the store you don't measure them. I guess you don't.
Well, see, no, you don't. You don't measure them in the store, but they give you an extra set. But then remember, you're stuck with if they don't fit you. You're stuck with making them. They just won't look right on your finger, or they pop off easily. That's what makes them pop off. When they're not sized correctly, they will pop off. So, and you gotta remember, I mean, at least I want my customers to have a good experience. So that's why the whole sizing piece, you want to make sure they fit correctly, so they look like they're acrylic instead of press-on nails. Because believe it or not, press-on nails will last. If you take care of them correctly, you can wear them a good amount of times over and over again. If you remove them and put them on properly. Like I have a whole case full of them. I be putting them on, but I don't want to glue them onto my nail because I got to, take the pictures and then take it back off and then take the next one and put them back. I use putty under mine, and I put them on with the putty. But I've had people use double-sided tape, and they put it on with double-sided tape, and it'll last them for a week where it doesn't come off. But then when they go to take it off, they're not messing up their own nail. Their nail is fine, and they just put the nails back in the box again, and next time they want to use it, double-sided tape again. And even if you use the glue, all you do is just file the inside of the nail and re-put it back on, and it'll last you for at least 2 weeks if you do it right. Like if you shine, look at me. What is the word? If you file the shine off of your nail and then you glue the press-on nail, they'll last 2 weeks. Like they won't fall off. But I have to look at that. I was just putting my Mother's Day stuff on Etsy. I was about to start. Well, I was putting it on. So I'm gonna look into the nail and I'll try one and see if I can get all the stuff up there.
One of the pictures could be whatever. You could do I wouldn't think so. Word doc or some PDF.
Yeah.
That tells about the size and let that be one of the next picture.
Yeah.
The picture of the nails and tell them to drop it in the notes section.
Yeah.
What size and
I'll just cut back the amount of pictures of the actual nail set itself, which is actually better, to be honest with you, because I don't think you need that many pictures of the nail sets.
No, I was gonna say you don't need
like 2
pictures of the same nail.
Yeah. Well, it's because I usually take different angles, because some people be anal, so I usually try to take different angles, because some people like to see the length, how the nail actually looks. So I try to take different angles. Plus, I'd be the one that'd be like that too. I'd be like, hold on, I gotta see how long it really looks. Because sometimes I can't use certain nails that are too long, or I can't function. Or sometimes
you can put that long, short, medium, long, or the design. You can just get you a standard.
Yeah, it's just it's just my OCD. It's me being anal.
I'm going to help with your OCD. Medium is what? I don't know. I don't know how you measure it. I don't know, centimeter. I don't know. You get a standard. Short is whatever this is.
Yeah.
Standard short is. Medium is this many. Make it plain and simple.
Yeah. That's what I gotta do. I do too much. I'm the type of person that be trying to make things so easy for people that I make it more complicated for myself.
That's what it sounds like.
Yeah. And I don't know why, but I've always been that way.
That's what it sounds like. It sounds like you want to make it simplified. Simplified means that all your short nails are 1 inch.
Yeah.
Medium is 2 inch or 1.5 inches. I don't know. But hey, you're the nail no person. So it would be long. You use this short, and you can get this style in short, medium, long.
Yeah.
Then take a picture of a short set, label that there, so they can and on that chart put these are the sizes and the length mean this, because I might like that design but I want it on a long. I might like that design but I want it on short. It's too long for me, but I like what you did, but I would like it shorter. So you can just put up samples of what and they say I like design this, and you can pick the design on you can pick the design and pick the length. Yeah. And recreate. You only take a couple pictures. That could be an option. I want the butterfly design. I want the marble. Yeah. Or I want the African print. I didn't think about that though. Print is doing now like some African prints. That's nice. I done lost my nail. I done had these on a while. I done lost my nail. So it's time for me to go back, get it done. Yeah, you can. It's a lot you can do with that. And I didn't think about that. I'm about to go back on and do that too, because now I'm going to be like, my wheels are going to be turning. This is kind of how what we just did is kind of how the podcast would go for me. Like I share how I deal with stuff. For me, everything is positive. Pretty much of figuring it out. I've been through the why can I spend this for good moment, which drove me to being manic or depressed. So I'm back to being healthy. For me is back to I'm gonna figure it out. This has been for my good. This made me story, testimony, and this is how I'm going to use it to drive me forward in life. What did I learn from it, and how I can drive forward? Maybe it happened. I take a lot of stuff. Like you said, you share your story because I'm like, oh, it happened. Not the why it's me type of person, not that, but why did you give this to me? For me to what you want me to do? Yeah. Definitely. We can do a podcast. It'll be more conversation, like two girlfriends on the phone having a conversation. That kind of works for me. It's kind of why I like Clubhouse. That was the other thing I was going to ask you. Do you do Clubhouse rooms? Yeah, I got a room on Clubhouse. I do have a club on Clubhouse. It's called Parenting and Mental Illness. Yeah, it is. It's up there. I do a room. I usually try to do it on Saturdays. I'm going to try to pick a day in a week. I'm trying to get myself to try to do it twice a week. It's just sometimes I get so caught up in all the seminars and I forget. It's easier for me during the day when Booger is at school, because he's the common denominator that makes the household a little crazy with his ODD and his bipolar right now and his puberty. So I'm going to try to jump up to twice a week. But I do have a room up there. It's Parenting and Mental Illness. I do it Saturdays, usually in the afternoon, or I'm going to switch it to the mornings though. I'm going to try to take advantage while they're asleep to try to do an open room. But I like to do it usually like a let's talk, a let's vibe. Is normally what I put the subject on, because I like to have it as an open room. If anybody shows up, like the last room I had, one of the ladies showed up, her first time in Clubhouse, and she actually came up and we were having a nice conversation. It was her first time, and I think she was dealing with depression. I can't remember, but I know because of COVID and being in the house, she wasn't getting out as much. So it gave her an opportunity to actually talk, and we had a nice little chat on Clubhouse. I know the replay is still up there, but that definitely is one I do have. Okay. Well, we're gonna have to follow up. I had 2 clients. All right, I'm sorry, but we definitely just when you're ready, let me know. Okay. Until then, just hit me up and let me know. Well, I'll be hitting you up, and we'll go from there. We'll pick a day. Okay. Let me know what your schedule looks like, and then what days work best for you to do podcast and to do this stuff. And we'll go from there. Okay, I will. All right. Talk to you later then. Nice talking to you. Nice meeting you. Same. Bye. Bye.
Okay, you guys, so that was my collaboration chit chat call with Catrina, who I met during a women's seminar last Saturday, I think it was, or the Saturday before, can't remember. Sorry for just jumping y'all into it. I tend to forget to put you guys on before the call starts, tend to forget to say hey, hi, and all that other good stuff before it starts. I remember about you guys after it starts. I don't know why I do that, and I'm sorry. But I just wanted y'all to, see our... Not see, I'm sorry. See is not the word. More kind of like... get a feel for what the conversation is going to be like. It didn't record though. So Google me, I am not happy with you guys because y'all said y'all was gonna be able to record it. So where is it? Anyways, my podcasters, that's pretty much what we are planning on doing for when we get to the actual meeting. But I wanted y'all to enjoy our little collab chit chat and check our vibe out. I hope y'all liked this bonus episode. Wait, is this a bonus episode? Because I swear I made a calendar for y'all and when I was gonna start actually posting, and it's like I just can't follow it somehow. I don't know why, but that's another thing. I would love to know, when would y'all like to see... would you guys like to see more content? Would you guys like me to post more? Would you guys like to have an episode once a week, twice a week, 3 times a week? I would love to see your input on that. That would be amazing. Definitely be amazing to know what y'all would love to see, because I would love to be able to give you guys what y'all want in that sense of the word. Let me know. Shoot me an email. lifeasaparentwithmentalillness@gmail.com. Again, lifeasaparentwithmentalillness@gmail.com. Shoot me an email. Let me know. Would you guys like to have an episode once a week, twice a week, or 3 times a week? Until next time, normies, don't forget, please make today count, for tomorrow is not promised to anyone. Have a nice day. Love y'all. Mwah.